Okay, thanks for coming, Johnathan. So great to see you after 4 years, isn't it? Yeah. You used to study in an international school in Hong Kong?
Yep.
And went to the UK for GCSEs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you feel about the difference, like studying in Hong Kong and in the UK?
So I think that there was a very big difference in terms of academics.
Okay.
That might be because of one OIC and also because of me personally.
Okay.
As in West Island School, I focused more on doing sports. So I played lots of football and taekwondo. But after year 10, when I went to the UK OIC for the 1-year GCSE program, I sort of switched and then I focused solely on academics from then on.
Right, so here comes my first question, because your school, West Island School, they also taught GCSEs in Hong Kong. So what do you feel about switching to the UK and doing this 1-year GCSE program? Right? How was it different?
So the difference was that you could say that everything was a bit more crammed, because usually for GCSEs you have 2 years to do it, while in OIC I only had 1 year.
Okay.
And the fact that I did additional maths, which is a subject I didn't really take in Hong Kong, added an extra challenge where I had to catch up, as initially my additional maths grade was not very great, as I haven't learned it before. So after lots of work plus the lots of help from the tutors and the skits, I was able to get everything up to par.
Would you describe it as extremely hard or difficult to manage 8 subjects in 1 year?
I think it's perfectly manageable if you are good with your time management and if you organize everything properly. So you have dedicated time in your day or weeks to study, maybe 2 hours on a Monday doing a past paper, stuff like that.
What would you say if someone asks, is it necessary to do GCSEs in the UK if they want to apply for medicine like yourself?
So I think that doing a GCSEs, for example 8, would be of great benefit to many applicants, as I know that some universities like Nottingham or KCL actually score your top 8 subjects where you can get some points, whereas other universities, I think Liverpool, I can't say for sure, they might not actually take some people who don't have GCSEs. So I think it might be a bit better to not only have an extra qualification but also progress slightly easier into A-levels, for example.
Right. It's a perfect opportunity now for me to ask you more about your school, OIC,
Sure.
because everyone knows it's very competitive, academically selective school. How would you describe your learning journey in the UK, comparing to many other students studying in some traditional boarding schools?
I think that it will be more direct. I think that would be the best way of saying it. As our timetable is a bit busy at times, where we also have skits, right? So tests every Saturday. But that really helps you prepare for your exams like GCSEs and A-levels. It really helped. We also have lots of admission tests and interview preparation. So I think that the main difference with going to OIC compared to a more traditional boarding school in the UK is that if you are dead set on going to a top university for a top subject, for example, it's a lot more streamlined. You know what you have to do, and OIC provides lots of resources to help you with that.
Okay, and how do you feel about OIC helping you to prepare for interviews, and you just mentioned about entrance exams as well? How would you feel about the preparation given by the school?
So it was very useful, because for my interview preparation, I actually had some tutors who are currently at, for example, Nottingham University, Cambridge, depends on who your tutor is. But I had a doctor actually. She graduated from Leicester and she was a junior doctor when she was helping me with my application for interviews. So that really prepared me in terms of knowing the content of what you could be asked for, maybe ethics, for example.
What about the entrance exams? Do you think that they were hard?
So
yes,
I think they're definitely very tricky, as sometimes even if you do lots of work and lots of preparation, there still might be those questions you can't really solve, as some questions are quite abstract, right? But OIC still provides some help with that, as I remember incorporated into my timetable 2 or 3 times a week. I would go have a 1-hour class with a teacher where you could do a past paper, any questions you have, you could just ask the teacher and they could explain to you why an answer is correct or incorrect.
So you mentioned about your life at OIC.
Yeah.
Do you think Yasmin is able to help students personally, or did she just leave all the work to other teachers?
So you get a blend. So it's not just Yasmin in OIC. You have lots of teachers which can help you. So I remember Zoe, my biology teacher. She helped me a lot with my personal statement.
Okay.
And when I had some questions as I was preparing for Cambridge, I just remember during class she brought her PhD textbook, very very thick, and just taught me some stuff while some people were going through some past paper questions. Yasmin, however, it's very funny sometimes as I would message her at 4 a.m. UK time sometimes, and she would like respond instantly. So I thought that the help she does, she really cares about the students, and she really helped me a lot with all aspects of my application. So I'm really grateful for her.
And many students are under the impression that OIC is more like an A factory. So they would think if they go to OIC, they will probably have no life. It was just going to be studying and doing past papers and all that. But do you think that's the case? I mean, I think you're having a fruitful life there, right?
So yeah, I think it really depends on how you want to do your high school life. As I of course know some people who spend their whole time just studying and doing past papers, but for me and some of my friends, we also like to be a bit more balanced with our work-life balance, right? So I was still able to do taekwondo by myself with a local gym in Oxford, as well as also playing for the OIC football team. Some of my friends also get to go to Oxford University to use their gym facilities. So there's quite a lot of things you can utilize in Oxford.
Oh, and how would you think about the school's location? I mean, given that it's literally inside Oxford instead of just kind of middle of nowhere. What do you feel about the location, proximity to the city being a student?
So I owned a bicycle, so that was very handy. So I was able to cycle to city centre very quick, around like a few minutes. There's lots of stuff in Westgate, the main mall there. But also, since we're in Oxford, the university is there, so I was able to go join some lectures, some public lectures on like cardiology, cancer, and so on. So I think it's a good location.
Do you feel about the competition between you and your classmates are very huge?
I would say that there's definitely an element where you might say, oh wow, this other person is like working very hard, getting very good grades. So I think that also sort of motivates some people, as I know that for me as well, right? I might be like, oh, okay, I didn't do very well. Let's go back to the example of year 11, where I got an E actually on my first schizo test for additional mathematics. I haven't covered that in Hong Kong, but my classmates have, right? So from there I saw, oh wow, my grades aren't very good for additional maths. I want to do something about it. I don't want to get an E. So I did lots of past papers during that period of time. Luckily I was able to slowly climb from CEB to A-star in the end. So it can really motivate you just looking at your peers or studying with your friends.
Have you ever stressed out during your revision?
So I remember that in year 11 I would study a lot. But then in year 12 and 13, I took it a bit more easy, as one, I didn't want to burn myself out completely. But yes, I think that potentially if you're not very careful about making sure you have a work-life balance, there is a risk of burning out.
Many of my students asked me about whether to work in Hong Kong or in the UK. Have you ever thought about that when you graduate?
So that's a very tough decision. Because for Hong Kong, I know that you might have a bit more of a workload. I heard that in Hong Kong, the work-life balance is quite harsh. But then some people might consider that you also get more rewarded a bit better. For example, as in the UK, some of my non-medic friends make some jokes saying that, oh, when you're a junior doctor, you'll be earning less than like a parking meter. But then for the UK, I think it would be for the first few years. If you decide to train there, it will be more for the training, as I know that the UK is very, very good for training doctors in different specialties. So I'll have to really consider whether or not to go to Hong Kong, where I was raised, be with my family, or be in the UK where I get top tier training.
Do you think studying abroad changed you, like personally or socially?
100%.
Right?
I think that after going to the UK in Oxford, I was able to mature a lot more. I don't know if it's just by getting older or if it was just being in a different environment, right? But living by myself, where I have to sort of wash your own clothes, make your bed, do chores by yourself, do everything, cook your own food sometimes if you're not eating in the canteen. I think all these skills you can develop by yourself, also making new friends, skills you might not usually get if you live with maybe your family, right? So I think it was a very good experience to go abroad.
You were not supposed to be applying for university this year, right? You were supposed to be applying for last year and you didn't get your first choice offer.
Yeah.
So how would you handle the frustration and how did you keep motivating yourself in order to get where you are now?
Yes, so I was very, very disappointed. I was very sad I didn't get into Cambridge at that time because it was my dream university, for example, many people's dream universities. But I think that this gap year was very beneficial. I would prefer to take a gap year as it really gives you the opportunity to just think if medicine is something you truly want to do. Of course, it is for me, so that's why I continued and I was able to get KCL. For other people, I think that the best way to deal with this would not be just taking it at face value directly, for example, saying, oh no, I got rejected, what should I do? As there's always another opportunity. If maybe you don't want to reapply, take a gap year, you could do biomed. As long as you're passionate and really want to do medicine, there's always a way you can become a doctor, either by biomed and doing grad med, taking a gap year, or going to another country to do medicine.
Could you share with us a bit about gap year as well? Because I've been asked a lot about whether to do a gap year or not, or well, if that's the case, well, what are they going to do in order to not to waste a whole year of time gaming at home instead?
So I think the most important thing about taking a gap year is having a plan on what you're going to do with it. I personally took it for two main reasons. The first reason is because, of course, medicine is a 5 or 6 year long endeavor. It's very long. So I just wanted to take more of a sort of, not a full holiday, right, but a break before going to university to refresh myself so I could be more competitive, get higher scores and so on. And also to do some stuff which I was quite passionate about doing, like publishing research, which I'm doing right now with a professor at HKUST on cancer treatment, as well as doing other hobbies which I might not ever get the chance to do again, such as playing football, doing taekwondo, learning Muay Thai, sort of a Thai boxing, as well as joining Mensa, the High IQ Society, all different things. Yeah.
Was you actually like utilizing your time, totally not wasting any time?
I'm very busy every day.
Oh, that's brilliant. One last question. So I'm not sure if you remembered or did you make the decision, but is there any reason why you chose Britannia to help you to apply for UK schools back then?
So back then, it was mostly my mum who found Britannia, but then the reason why we chose it was because it was the biggest study link center in Hong Kong. And also, if it's the biggest, there are of course most resources. And when I was going through the process, I made the right decision. As one, I was able to go to OIC, but two, also because I remember doing some tests like the CAT 4 or some admission tests. Everything was very clear. I knew what I had to do, and then we just got it done and very streamlined.